one of my joints right there. He had you had the Travis, the white girls joint on there, right?
Yeah. That's the one, man. That project changed my life.
Did it really?
Really, that project changed my life. I got signed off that project. I got, noticed by certain peers and people in the game that I was, like a super fan of my whole life, and so yeah, that project really changed my life.
We'll come back to that too. This man is interesting to me because of where he's from.
Yes.
And the way he raps and what he raps about, of Palestinian descent. A lot of lyrics you hear in his music is also politically driven, based on his own personal experiences, philosophies, and views on the planet, But what I find fascinating is him being from Canada. One of the first rappers I ever interviewed from Canada was a man by the name of Maestro Fresh West. And this was in the early 90s. Michi Me, I think, too.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, this was in the early 90s. Legends. And we were so blown away that King Tech and myself from our wake-up show, we were so blown away at how dope they were. We wanted to go to Canada because we used to just search for the hip-hop. And since then, people like yourself, of course, Drake and others have come out and just really put Canada on a hit list of lyricism. If you ask me, Torey Lanez, just put Canada on a hit list of lyricism. I want to welcome him to the show. He's an award-winning writer. Artist. He's rolling with conglomerates for the right reason. He's been through a lot of trials and tribulations in his career. But he's here to talk about any and everything with his Mumble Rap 2 coming out this Friday. He's even talking about retiring. We're going to talk him out of that. Please welcome him to the show. Give it up for the one and only. Belly is here. Belly. Come on, man.
This is surreal, man. It's surreal. Being on here is surreal right now. For real,
really?
Man. Oh, yeah, for sure.
What it feel like, man? I got
It's
goosebumps.
bucket list. It felt like picture day this morning when I was getting dressed.
Hey.
Look nice, bro.
You look great.
Thank you.
You're sitting next to an icon right there, Heather B.
I just saw him outside in the
really?
hallway. I didn't know we never met before, but I just said how y'all doing because,
Just
we
being nice
say
to
what's up, right?
Very courteous and kind, for sure.
Thank you,
Yeah.
but thanks for being here and thank you for saying that. Sway and I actually had a conversation about this yesterday when folks come here and say that this is a bucket list moment for them or they wanted to be here. It actually makes us feel good as well because we want artists to come here and feel welcome. We want people to come here and feel good. We want people to come here and feel celebrated, and that's what this platform is
That's
for.
how I feel. That's how I feel
Wow.
for real, man. Being here is exciting. It's like this nostalgic feeling.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
I've never been here, but I feel like there's like a familiarity to this whole room, to this whole energy.
Yeah,
Amen.
man, you been here, bro. You been here. You was here when you was watching them things online and whatever it is you saw. We've been trying to have you, man. So, Belly, welcome to the show. I find that fascinating that Up for Days, which came out in about 2015, right?
Yeah.
Was the one that grabbed the attention because I know the Revolution.
Yeah, the album was The Revolution.
Uh-huh.
That was my debut album in Canada.
And what year was that?
I was like 07.
Exactly. So it took 8 years before certain individuals recognized?
Because I had my run in Canada and I was comfortable. I was touring out there. I was putting out projects. I put out 3 mixtapes that did really well.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I used to hear it all the time. I would come to New York or certain places and they'd be like, "But are you popping where you're from?"
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "Damn, I'm not. All right, hold on. Let me go home and let me get this together." So that was my goal, is to climb the mountain, be there, and then be like, "All right, I'm ready to come over here and do something." You know? So it took longer than I expected, but still, like, just to come and put out that project and then know, like, Jay listened to it, and it was just certain producers and artists hitting me up and being like, "Yo, like, who are you, bro?" And it was crazy to me because, like, it felt like that to me, that I had been in the game for so long, but I was just being discovered.
For the first time. That's almost like having the opportunity to reinvent yourself.
Right.
So Jay, it was that album, the Up for Days album, that got Jay's attention.
Yeah.
Did he reach out to you or?
Nah, like my brother Gabi, so I guess Pecos was at this restaurant.
Okay, Sean Pecos.
And he seen and so he was there with Hov, I guess, and Hov played the album. And so he like just low key hit up Gabi and was like, "Yo, Hope's playing your man right now in the restaurant. I just wanted to let you know." So Gabi called me like, "Yo, sit down, bro. You know, like I gotta tell you, like sit down." I'm like, "All right, cool, whatever." He tells me, I'm like, "Yo, stop playing with me." And Gabi's, he's the type of guy. He's a jokester. I know he wouldn't play with that, but I was still like, "Yo, stop playing with me, bro." He's like, "Nah, he's listening to your album right now." And it led from that. In the next few months, I ended up signing to Rock Nation, just off that moment. You know what I mean? So that's why I say it changed my life, because I never had that moment with anything else.
Yeah, man.
You know?
That is so, because you have Travis Scott on that album, right? French Montana's on that album. Joel Santana is on that album.
Yeah.
Is The Weeknd is on that? Was The Weeknd on that?
I believe so.
You got all of. So is that why they were on the album? Because of Rock Nation affiliation, or?
No, so that was before. So
okay.
I put out the album independently.
Okay, so you already had those props then.
Yeah. So like a lot of those people I knew already. You know, so like Joel's, that's like my brother. I've been knowing him for years. Travis at that time, when he came to Toronto, he came looking for me, for us to work and do some records together.
Damn.
Yeah, he pulled up on me at the studio, and we ended up doing records and working together. You know, so like everybody I was really getting these records from at that time, it was just based on like personal relationships. It wasn't based on labels or anything like that. You know, I was signed to XO and just working independently at that time.
What's the proper etiquette though for artists, like when you're approaching people and you're still on the come up, that your star isn't here yet? Like what was the etiquette? How did you approach them? How do you get artists to work of that magnitude to work with you when you're still on the come up?
Oh man, I had a chip on my shoulder, number one.
Okay.
And I think I've always been a show and prove type person. I'm gonna let the music speak before I ever speak. You know what I mean? Like I want that to wow you. You know what I mean? And then another thing is I always focus on like just making sure the frequency is good, the energy's good. Like if people are in a good mood and they got all the things that they want around and make them comfortable and they feel good, we're gonna make some dope shit, But if it's like toxic in the room, nobody even wants to work.
I love that, man. Belly is here. Give this man a round of applause.
Absolutely.
Immigrant. Do you feel? Obviously, you say what you want to say, but you also intertwine your political stances a lot into your music. How has that impacted you? As an artist, do you feel like it can hinder you at ways?
Shadow bans. I've been shadow banned off everything.
Damn, really?
No, I'm playing. I don't know what it is, man, but I know anytime.
Because I can't find all your music everywhere too. Why is that?
It's like a lot of that has to do with the first viral record I had before viral was even a word yet. Was a song called "History of Violence," and it got banned over here, like in the United States. It was banned.
Okay.
And we had to like get it unbanned so people could see it. So I think it always started out from like that, and it's just been like that ever since. Like but I don't know. For me, it's not political. I'm not talking political stuff, right? Like being Palestinian, these are human issues to me, right? It's not like I hate getting into politics.
Yeah,
it's you already know.
Yeah,
it's all a big lie, and it is what it is. I'm talking about like the human problems that are happening because of the political people. You know what I mean? And I'll never shut up about that. I don't give I don't care about followers and. None of that. Like, that don't matter.
Who made you want to rap? Like when you was in Ottawa, or where did you grow up?
Ottawa. Yeah.
Okay, what was that like? Jimmy Spicer, Super Rhymes, was the song that made me want to rap when I was a kid. Who was that artist's song that made you want to rap?
I think my first like inspiration was Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style. My brother brought that album home.
About Snoop.
Celebrating 30 years this year,
man.
Right?
Big legend. That album's one of the most perfect albums ever created. And so that was like my first insight into it. And then I was watching TV probably 6 months later, and I seen Biggie Smalls on TV, and just being a heavy set dude since I was young.
Okay.
And I seen Big on TV, and I was like, yo, I'm looking at the king of the world right now. Like, I want to be this guy. You know what I mean? So all my raps when I first started rapping was just me trying to sound like Biggie. Literally.
Like
you
your
know?
the vocal
My
tone.
voice.
Can I hear that? Let me hear a little bit.
pockets,
Let me hear one of them old ones. Come
Don't
on,
worry,
Belly.
I'll pull up some old records for
Okay,
you.
yeah.
I'll let you hear how deep
Is that how you got the name Belly?
I was trying to
You
make
were
my
doing,
voice. I was doing all that. Yeah.
Is that how you got the
everything.
name Belly?
Honestly, I don't remember how I got the name Belly. I don't, because I lied about it so much throughout my life. I can't believe which lie is real anymore.
Oh my
You
God.
kidding me,
You lied
right?
about your name?
Yeah, because it was like I got asked about it so much in like interviews and stuff. I was like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna just make up a story every time.
Oh, what's the last story you made up?
I used to tell people that I played football and I would tuck my jersey into my shoulder pads and my belly would be hanging out, and they started calling me Belly on the.
That's a horrible lie right
Yeah,
there,
it's
bro.
terrible.
I wouldn't
That's a
believe
hard
that.
one to remember, too.
And the thing is, my name originally was Big Boy, and then
Like Big Boy's Neighborhood?
and then I discovered Outkast, and I was just like, nah, I can't be Big Boy. This guy is incredible.
Yeah.
He got that name locked down.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's when Belly started to come around.
I thought that it had something to do with the movie.
I did too.
Yeah.
Nah,
I thought
was
it was
Belly
size.
before the movie.
Okay,
I
you
thought
was
it was
put it out there.
size.
You thought it was size? Mm-hmm. Well, he ain't that big now.
Now,
Right.
Oh, you were bigger?
man, I was 320 pounds.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your food of choice? Chicken?
Chicken won't get you to 320.
What
Hey.
you eating?
Everything.
Really?
Yeah, everything.
Huh.
Yeah, I was the worst. I was really the worst.
Uh-huh.
I used to drink sodas like by like the 12 pack. I was terrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you consuming a lot to deal with like emotions? I know a lot of times people will do that.
Not really. I just love to eat.
I hear that.
I really do. Like till now, I lost like 100 pounds, and I still look at Fat Boy Foods, and I'm like, I want that. I want it now.
So it's
Like,
been the key to your discipline.
I don't even know. Honestly, I think feeling good is probably like I used to think it was just about I want to look better,
Yeah.
and now I wake up and I feel all right. Like I get out of bed, like I'm like, I don't have to, walk with a limp all the way till I get to the bathroom. And like I'm up and I feel good. My bones feel good. So.
It's like what Vic Mensa said yesterday with fun versus joy, and how fun is very fleeting, but the joy gives you bigger returns.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And now I feel like I did intermittent fasting for the last year, and growing up, as a Muslim kid, doing Ramadan.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
what?
yeah.
This is easy.
Yeah.
So I did that. That's been the best thing I ever did in my life.
Intermittent fasting.
Yeah, because I could eat what I want. I eat, that one major meal a day, so I could eat what I want. And then the rest of the day, I'm pretty good about my discipline and not touching nothing,
Belly's here, man. Give that man a round of applause. Mike, you want to jump in on this?
Yeah, it was a very fascinating interview.
Yeah.
Man, this dude is an
I've
interesting
really just
guy.
been enjoying the conversation, which is rare. I'm always
Thank
more
you,
ready
man.
for the question, but it's been really enjoying the conversation. How difficult is it for you to separate, though, the politics from you being Palestinian? Because so much about, I always look at hip hop as the storytellers of our neighborhoods and community, right? And so you being Palestinian, it's hard to separate what is happening in Palestine from your identity. So how are you reconciling that?
I mean, I don't. I just know it's going to come out. Like, if I'm true to myself and my art and, like, actually expressing what I feel, then it's got to come out.
Yeah.
I don't like when it's forced. I don't like when people, like, force it. Like, they seen that it got them some attention, and they're like, okay, now I'm going to be, super political. Every song's about activism. And it's like, no, like, I love making music, of all types of music, but it just so happens the type of music I make is always going to be true to me. Being Palestinian is always going to leak out into the music, so I don't got to try to put it in there.
Do you feel responsibility? Because, as far as I know, you're probably one of the most recognized and well-known Palestinian rappers, an artist. Do you feel a responsibility to talk about that?
I don't, man. I don't, because, look, if you're from an ethnicity that's, not as common, where you come from or whatever, and somebody from your ethnicity does really well at what they do and they become a star, right? You're still proud. They could have never said nothing. You're still going to be like, yo, that Filipino dude did this, or that Palestinian guy did this, so on and so forth. You're still proud, right? So at the end of the day, I think that inspiration and that's the thing that I'm most proud of is that, I meet Palestinian artists that are like, bro, you inspired me. Like, you showed me that someone Palestinian can actually make music and be part of this game. You know what I mean? So that to me is my biggest accomplishment. And that's the way I feel like I give back.
The optics matter.
Belly is here, man. Get this man a round of applause. He's about to go into some more music if we got it, or we gonna play that ambiance again.
Why not?
You got a great album, Mumble Rap 2, which is out Friday.
Thank you, man.
Woo!
We want to talk about this comment you made about you love us all sincerely, but this industry has taken its toll on me. Mumble Rap 2 will be the first of my last 3 albums ever. Mini tour for Mumble Rap 2, then a farewell tour after my next 2. We're going to talk about this, y'all. Citizens, we're going to listen to this song, and if you think he's a dope rapper, we're going to all call up and convince him not to retire.
I'll hear all arguments.
All right, we're going to hear all arguments why he should not retire. This is Belly. 888-742-3345. Probably spend $250,000 on the ambiance. Yeah. You hear the ambiance in that track, Heather B? You hear that?
Of course I do.
What is that, Belly? What is that?
Oh man, I don't know. You gotta ask the Animals, man. They actually made that. You know, Hit Boy produced most of the album, but the Animals came through with a couple that I couldn't keep off.
The Animals.
Yeah,
wow, man.
Such a great name.
I love that name, but their work is incredible as well. Hit Boy, you guys, how did that happen? Hit Boy, who reached out to who?
Oh, I reached out.
Okay.
I definitely reached out. You know, me and Boy Wonder did part 1 together.
I remember that.
Yep. So we were honestly talking a lot about doing part 2 together, and just like schedule stuff. Like he would come to LA. It would just so happen I'm over here in New York or something. Like we just couldn't get it together. So I was like, yo, I need to make this like that one producer project. You know, like I feel like my favorite projects when I was a kid were always that one producer, with a rapper kind of
that
project.
DJ Premier, Pete Rock type,
yes,
KG and all the
So I felt like that's what this needed. So we started kind of going through it. I was just like Hit Boy. That was really the first thought I had, and then we reached out. He was like, yeah, let's go, let's get it, And I wanted to start fast. A lot of times, you trying to work with somebody that's as busy as Hit Boy, and it's like, all right, cool, we'll start in 2 months. And he was like, yo, a week, like let's go. We could get this thing going right now.
How long did it take y'all to complete it?
Not long,
at
all. Like the first session really mapped out almost the whole album. Just the first session, like I was freestyling a lot of the hooks. He was playing a lot of these beats and just blowing my mind away, and it was just inspirational. I was really writing concepts and hooks and stuff like that on the first day, and then it was just like mapping it out after that.
Belly here. We got Danielle on the line from Seattle. Danielle, go for it.
Hey, Danny.
Or Daniel, I'm sorry. Daniel.
Hey,
Daniel.
Put some respect on my name.
My bad, G. I knew it was Yo or Yale, one of them.
Yeah, Daniel. But hey, I was just gonna say that dude from Palestine, man. That shit's hot, man. I was gonna say what's your name, but I just got it, Belly. That track I just listened to, I'm definitely gonna look into your catalog, man. That was really nice, bro.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right.
Indeed, man.
So tell him not to retire if you're feeling him, man. Talk to him, man. Convince him, man.
Hey, man, if the catalog's there, man, he might have already put in his time, man. I gotta see what this guy's about right here, bro.
I like you, bro. I like you. Thank you.
Indeed, man.
It's consistent.
I don't respect that, man. I appreciate your music for sure.
That's love, man. Appreciate you, bro, for real.
Go check him out.
Already.
Check him out. Anthony from Yonkers. What up,
Anthony?
Hey,
why, yo?
Good morning, everybody.
Hey, what's up, sir?
Yo.
Go for it.
What's up, Belly?
What up? What up?
Speak to you. I've been a big fan of your music since like freshman year in high school. The first time I was introduced to you was Might Not with The Weeknd, and I gotta ask, what was your creative process behind that song, working with him?
Oh man, first of all, thank you, bro. I appreciate you listening and stuff. Man, working with The Weeknd is it's surreal, man. He's one of the greatest artists. People on the planet, really, and I tell that to people all the time. Like, he's as good of a better human being than he is an artist, and he's the best artist I've ever been in the studio with. So, yeah, I mean, every time we've worked together, the experience is incredible.
Hey, thanks for your call. And he said he's gonna retire. What you want to say to him?
Don't plan on it. Keep going. You're doing great.
Thank you, man.
All right. This is what this interview about to be about. And you a citizen, okay? We have Vic Mensa. Tracy mentioned Vic Mensa came in yesterday, and he was talking about some of his new music and a lot of his recent experiences. And I told him you were coming on the show today. and Vic Mensa got excited, bro.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I don't know if you
real,
ever
man.
worked with Vic yet. Have you?
Nah, I haven't. But I told him, I had a chance to tell him yesterday that I respect the fact that he went to Palestine so much, man. And like, I told him a lot of people won't go or can't go, you know, from Arabs around the world. And it just means a lot to see that, to see somebody actually take the time and be on the ground like that. So I had to just let him know the respect is real for that, you know.
Well, this is what he said for you.
Rock with Belly, man. That's why I put that bar in there. What I said, oh yeah, my aunt got a skin tumor from lighting and cream. She fighting them demons. I'm just writing my grievance. When the Hennessy XO in my belly can't help me, I just need to get away and write for the weekend.
That was so good.
You in
so
a bar
dope.
now,
And the
Belly.
weekend is
You in
featured on Belly's new project, and they work together.
Amazing,
and all.
man. Shout out to
Signed
Belly.
XO.
Great MC.
All right, excellent MC, man. So I'm happy to have him on
Likewise,
tomorrow.
The respect is mutual, man. The respect is very mutual.
Yeah, man. He put you in the bar, son.
That's special.
Damn, now I'm gonna have to put Vic Mensa in a bar.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Take a favor. You
Okay.
can't retire now.
And if
Yeah.
while you at it, you know, you could throw me in one too. Tracy, you got
know what?
you know,
Let's go.
adding bars. Tracy, you got a
Yeah,
question?
when you had mentioned to Mike Muse how you enjoy making all types of music, and it made me think how you started out in punk bands, and also how I don't know a lot of hip hop artists that can write for R&B artists. You know, like
Yeah.
Drake comes to mind with writing for Beyonce, Alicia Keys, etc., etc. But how does your approach change depending on the song? And when you were doing punk, like, talk about the different influences that might surprise people in terms of your musical background.
All right. So first of all, I'm gonna say I don't know where the punk thing came from.
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird. I get asked this in every interview now. Somebody really went and played with my Wikipedia, I think.
Straight in the
not true.
record.
Okay.
I wish I was though. I
Okay.
loved alternative punk grunge music when I was a kid. And I think that's a big part of why I can write so much stuff. I was a fan of so much stuff as a kid. You know, so and then when I get in the studio, I never hold myself back to be like, you know, today's rap day or like
Got it.
today's R&B day. Like I go in there and I'm like, what am I feeling? Or I love to go off what the producer's feeling a lot too. So if they're in there and they hit a chord and I'm like, oh, this needs to be this, you know what I mean? So I don't really like try to control it, because it's been songs that I thought were throwaway records, really, like sitting in a folder, and
Yeah.
then they end up on some of the biggest albums. So I stopped being like, yo, let me judge and let me see, let me make this or make that. You never know what somebody's gonna take, so I just try to make anything I feel that day.
What's a song that surprised you in that way? That ended up exploding. That
6
you was,
Inch Heels
Yep.
for Beyonce.
Off Lemonade,
That was my record. I had French on that record,
French Montana.
featured.
What?
Yeah, like that. Really, like that record was, and it was on the back burner. It's not like we weren't gonna put it out, we weren't gonna release it. It wasn't like none of that. And then Big John, big
Well,
shout out
everybody,
to
knows,
Big John.
everybody knows Big John.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Big
so-
shout out to Big
Yeah.
John, man. That's
Yeah.
and he's the first guy that gave me my real first check in music, and I say that to say the first guy that really believed in me on this side when it came to the music.
Wow.
He heard that the first meeting we had. He's like, play me some shit, and I was just going through the archives. I didn't want to play him stuff that I wanted to put out myself. You know what I mean? So
They would have took that
playing
too.
him like, I'm playing archive stuff, and he's like, hold on, what's that? All right, give me this record. And he took that, and it became what it became. So, you know, I don't try to judge it or like.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, yo, whatever we make, just put it over here. Make sure, you know, the right people get it. And you never know. You really never know.
Man, you never know. Did you meet Beyonce, or it doesn't work like that?
You know, with that stuff, man, I don't like to talk the personal stuff because, you know, I've hung out with Hov a few times. I know he's super
Private. Okay.
Private,
Let's
you know?
keep it moving. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. You got a song on your album called Relapse. I want to come to that first, but I need to know why you're retiring. Why you say that? Is that true?
Like for me, it's like this, man. I don't want to overdo it in terms of being here and overstaying my welcome. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I feel like God bless, like you said, you know, one of the best things, I got the respect of my peers and, you know, things like that I hold that to a high regard, you know, like, so I don't want to overstay the welcome. I don't want to be here long enough that people start, thinking differently. I'd rather just bow out gracefully when I can and, work on other things.
When you say overstay your welcome, meaning in music industry, the hip hop industry, or just
in general, just in this space, of you, man. Nowadays, you don't know. I was never somebody that wanted to be in front of the cameras. I was never someone that wanted to be, so I kind of almost sabotaged a lot of my own moments because I was like, I like going to the grocery store.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like now I'm at the point where I love to write. I'm going to write forever, but, I could write TV. I could write film. I could write so many different things that'll keep me at least in entertainment.
Belly is here. What is it like for you? Where are you most popular, here or in Canada?
Oh, no, Canada for sure.
Canada for sure?
Yeah,
They scream for you in Canada?
Nah, they don't scream.
That's okay, man. They scream for me in Canada.
I can't do groceries in Canada.
Oh, you can't do groceries in Canada?
I mean, I still do, but, Canada's different, man. I really took my time over there, and it was like a young hunger, what I mean, that I had. Over here, it's like there's so much to do and see, so much opportunity. There's so much, like, I look out my window, and it's L.A. and Hollywood and, the city that I see in movies, and, you know what I mean? So I look around, and I'm like, this is amazing, and I'm always going to be grateful for this and everything that it brought for me, but I don't want to keep myself kind of pigeonholed into one thing and not get the chance to express like every other thing that God might have gave me.
True creative right there. Get that man a round of applause. A lot of applause.
Thank you.
And he got bars, Mike Muse. In the song Relapse, speaking of the bars, because I went through your album a bunch of times and just heard a whole lot of things.
That's crazy.
There was a line I was telling you about the IRS.
Yeah.
How does that line go? Nicolas Cage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's hard for me to remember lines right off, but yeah, it's talking about, that's why my book is missing pages, because the IRS came for me like Nicolas Cage. That's why my book is missing pages. And I was telling you earlier, that was like a real story of coming out here. I used to be like, yo, how did this celebrity, let somebody mess up his money? Why wasn't he watching? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Then I came out over here, I bought a house and stuff, and then there was like $700,000, $800,000 of taxes owed on the house that my accountant just never paid.
What the hell?
Just never paid. But you gave him the money. The money was there.
The money's in the accounts that he's managing the accounts and stuff. And it's like it's there. And then, I went through like a little, one of the moments where you're like, I need every last thing. And then I look and they're like, yeah, you owe like $750,000 to the government. And I almost went to jail. For real. Yeah. Like they didn't come to the point where they came for me, but it was like they sent us a warning, like, yo, this is what's owed, this needs to be paid, and it literally had nothing to do with me or my management. Like, we were on point with everything. Yeah. Super on point, watching everything and all that. It's just the things that he's supposed to know about that we might not know about, and he let it slip through the cracks. And that was like one of my first experiences of being like, I get a check from somewhere and it's a nice bag, and I'm like, the whole thing got to go over here.
The whole thing.
Whole thing.
So you've hit bottom.
Oh,
during this how many times you hit bottom during this run?
A few times.
Like, what's bottom?
A few times. Look, I think it's always going to be ups and downs.
Right, being an op,
absolutely.
I'm fall back.
I want to know the answer.
It's in the music.
I don't think so.
Okay, thank you, Belly.
I think honestly, I like to talk about these things. It reminds me of where I never want to go back to.
Yeah,
it's in the music.
For real. And for me, it was like a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol, no type of structure in my life. But other side of the coin, I was sleeping on floors for this. I would sleep anywhere. If they were like, we don't got a room for you, I was like, cool. The booth floor is fine. I was, and that's, it was part of my hustle. But it was a lot of times, things got dark. Things really just like I was trying to run away from things and escape things, and I think I just turned to like substance abuse and stuff like that.
How did you rebuild from that bottom? What was it that helped you come back to life?
You know what? I realized that it's not like people look at it like, yo, I'm winning, or like, yo, I'm growing, and that's fine. Like, it's great to look at life like that, but now I'm seeing that it's like cycles. You know, you got your highs, your lows. It's like you got to capitalize on this moment because, you know, there's like an energy about you and you feel it. You know you're walking with like a pep in your step.
Yeah.
Capitalize. Go in. Make whatever you make times 100. Stay in there until you can't make it no more. Because when those lows hit, you're not going to be able to make it at all.
Yeah.
You know, so now I'm kind of balancing my you know, my efforts, let's say. Like, now I know when I need to take a week off and sit in the house.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to the studio and, like, force it on myself to try to push something. Like, it's like, nah, I'm good. Like, I did enough during this high that I could be over here during this low. And that's the thing now that's keeping me sane, you know, because I'm not looking at the lows like they're so bad no more. It's like, shit, it's coming.
Is that related to your retirement as well?
I mean, I think retirement from music is what I'm talking about.
Right.
But I'm gonna work 100 times harder on everything else, you know, that I'm gonna have going on. So it's just like music to me, you know, like I said, it's something that I love. I'm always love. Let's say I write shows, I'm always incorporate the music to the shows or the movies. But I'd rather do that. If I'm making music, let me make a soundtrack. Let me make a score. You know what I mean? Like, now I'm at the point where that excites me. So I want to do that, you know?
This is Belly. The song is called Real Lapse. I be saying relapse, but it's real lapse now that we got the context. 888-742-3345. Belly here. Shade 45, Sway in the morning, have the beat, Trigger, Tracy G. Angelo's on the line. Guess where he's from? Angelo, tell him where you from.
Hello.
Let him know where you from.
Your hometown, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Big shout out to you.
Let's go.
And the K45 crew. That it's so nice seeing Ottawa being a smaller town. That Belly's been able to make it to California on the global stage, just everywhere. Him and his crew, Prophet Records, Manny, all of them. So big shout out from back home.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I apprate it.
Appreciate that. What's it like having a global superstar now from your hometown?
We grow up seeing all the big names from, you know, New York to California, Long Beach. And they just see small-time artists kind of going from club to club, scene to scene, and then going on to, like, say, Toronto, across Canada. And then, just kind of blowing up on YouTube and just throughout the world. That it's insane. So him and his crew, Masari, and all the other ones. So it's just great to see local talent, and not only on the Canadian scene, but also the local Ottawa scene. So
that's love, man. Thank you.
He's saying some names. Who's these names he's saying?
That's the squad, gang. That's the family, bro.
That's the family?
Yeah, all right. We've been around each other 20 plus years. All of us still rocking.
Beautiful.
That's something, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Angelo, thank you. You're a super citizen.
Sway in the morning.
Yo, Belly, man, I know you watched the show for years, man, and we appreciate that support.
No, for real.
I'm glad you and I have had a chance to have this moment. I actually yesterday made sure I crashed Superstar Jay's interview.
That was being an op.
That was being an op?
That was. You crashed the interview? Imagine if somebody did that right now here. If
they don't do it all the time.
If they famous, you let them rock. The regular people, nah.
Come on. The regular people.
He's a global superstar. He's good.
He let the global superstar thing come in.
Tell him, man. But you know what we do on this show, man.
Is it time?
I think it is. I mean, listen, I know you got Jay-Z in your corner, you got Drake in your corner, you got everybody in your corner, but right now you ain't on your corner, okay? Right now you ain't in Ottawa. Right now you not in California. Hey. You're not really even in New York. You in the Valley of the Hyenas. Drop that beat on them. Turn that beat up, Torch.
There we go.
Okay, turn it up, Torch.
Hey.
Alphabet. You've perhaps also heard this referred to as the Roman or Latin alphabet.
We on Sway, man.
Come on.
Behind each of these
crazy.
Canada, stand up.
Hey,
Mumble Rap,
look.
Way back.
Never got AIDS, they told me be patient. Perform my own C-section, call it misdirection. I'm evasive, my mind F1 speed racing. I talk to God, I'm just praying that the G's make it sick like H1, N1, I on my emblem. J walking with the K on me like a gremlin. L's I take, worth the M's I make. Money long like NIA, started out with an O. Flipping P's, had Q's for 11.5. Double R, S-class, money sitting 7.5. Let the bitches spill tea, cut you out. Sever ties, V's in the motor court. Bitches vendetta time, take another W. We don't do the W. X-Files, I'ma probably mold it into something new. Take a breath, this is what I do. Belly at nest, I'm untouchable. Why now? Probably cause I feel like Yachty. I'm too wise on both sides. The real life Gotti, they get embodied by somebody that doesn't exist. And here's the last Z you ever sleep on me with, you bitch.
We got Belly up in here. Sway the morning, Shade 45, home of the MCs.
Hey,
come on.
Okay, the streets kept a G sharp. Used to get the onion for a G flat. She was sucking for a C note, for a G note. She probably laid a D flat. I heard him singing like the Isley Brothers. Whoever quiet is the wisest of us. The real ones ain't allowed to tell us. Wait, the real ones ain't allowed to tell us. Keep 6, gotta double back. Talking fuck 12 if you double that. Keep 100 packs in the Regal, dog. Wait, I tried to quit, I couldn't beat withdrawal. Now, what the fuck is woke? You sleep, I'm showing teeth. Provoke me, I'm a wolf. I eat the so-called goats and sheep. Clear out my lungs, I want all of the smoke. Hold up.
Oh, wait, hold up. You whack rappers. Don't even come near me and Belly. N.I.A. I feel like you was about to go again.
Nah, that was it.
Oh, my God. Give that man a round of applause, man. I was ready to do this. Hey, I had the hooks down pat.
That's good.
Let's go, man.
We got an elite MC up in here.
Yup.
All the way from Ottawa, Canada. He wouldn't be here if he wasn't who he is. He stayed true to himself. Even when he was getting banned, he stayed true to himself. He speaks the truth. He's a truth spitter. And he's an awesome MC. We got a hyena up in here.
Crazy, man.
Oh, man.
Surreal moments, man.
Come on,
For real,
brother.
man.
Nah, all love,
Real
man.
shit.
All love. Keep going, man. You good for the culture, family. So however long we can
thank you,
have you,
man.
we going to take it.
Thank you,
We
man.
appreciate you. Mumble Rap 2. I don't know. Why you call it Mumble Rap again?
I just felt like it's like the opposite of that. It's like when you meet that guy in prison named Tiny, and he's like 6'8".
The irony of it all.
the irony, that's it.
Yes.
All right.
I love it.
Yo, you're so nice, man. Congratulations. I'm glad we got a chance to see this. I got to see you live, though. I got to see you live.
Yo, that's
brother.
Another bucket list moment, man. Just, I can't wait to go back out there and touch the people.
Yeah, man. You got a tour coming up?
Yeah, we're working on something now, so
Yeah.
I hope it all goes the way we want it to.
I'm sure it will, brother. All right, man. We
Thank you,
appreciate you, Belly. Thank you for
Facts.
coming by the show.
Yeah.
Thank y'all,
man.
thank y'all.
So
thank
good.
I
y'all.
hope you had a good time. I hope
I
it
had
was
a
like
great
the bucket
time.
list.
Man, this was better than I imagined. For real.
Okay, good.
Wow, that's
Great,
love. Thank
man.
you.
And look forward to hearing your movie soundtracks,
Yes.
the shows you're going to be putting
Thank you.
together.
Thank
The movies you writing.
Yup.
Absolutely.
She gonna write.
And I can't wait to hear how you gonna mention me in that bar. All right, cool, man.
Come on.
Yo, Torch, what we gonna play next, man?
What we doing? Cocaine Spoon?
Let's do it, man. Belly, thanks for coming through. Featuring Ricky Rose, Sway in the Morning,
Rose.
Shade 45.